How to defeat your enemy without fighting. Imagine this: someone wrongs you, betrays you, or undermines your every move. The natural instinct is to retaliate, to hit back harder, to teach them a lesson they'll never forget. But what if the true power lies not in confrontation, but in control? Control of your mind, your emotions, and ultimately, your enemy's expectations. Hold on. Before you dismiss this as just another lecture on turning the other cheek, let's flip the script. This isn't about passive submission or moral high ground. This is about winning, absolutely, ruthlessly, and decisively, without lifting a finger. The ancient Stoics mastered this art, and today you're going to learn how to do the same. Curious yet? You should be, because the moment you master this technique, you'll become the most dangerous person in the room. A force so unstoppable, even your enemies will find themselves ensnared in a web of their own making. You'll no longer play the game, you'll own it. Intrigued? Good. Let's dive in. Number 1. Weaponize indifference. The first rule of crushing your enemy is to stop caring about them entirely. Easier said than done, right? But here's the thing. The more you react, the more you validate their existence. Your anger, frustration, and even hatred are all signs that they've gotten under your skin, and that's exactly what they want. The Stoics had a word for this: apatheia. It's the state of being emotionally unshakable, not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to recognize that your enemy is irrelevant. Their actions, their words, they're all background noise. By refusing to engage, you render their attacks powerless. Think of it as psychological judo. They push, you don't push back. They shove, you step aside. Eventually, they fall under the weight of their own efforts. But here's the twist. Your indifference isn't just a shield, it's a weapon. When your enemy realizes they can't affect you, they begin to lose their own sense of power. They're left grappling with frustration, confusion, and ultimately defeat. You've won without throwing a single punch. Number 2, master the art of silence. Silence is golden and deadly. Words are often seen as weapons, but the absence of words, that's a whole new level of psychological warfare. The Stoics understood that silence can speak louder than the most carefully crafted argument. When your enemy expects a response and you give them nothing, they're forced to fill the void with their own assumptions, fears, and insecurities. Imagine this. You're in a heated exchange, and your opponent is throwing everything they've got at you: insults, accusations, threats. Now, instead of firing back, you simply say, nothing. Just silence. They start to squirm. They question their tactics. They wonder if they've miscalculated, because silence is a mystery, and people fear what they don't understand. But don't be mistaken. This isn't about passive aggressiveness or bottling up emotions. It's about calculated restraint. Every word you don't say becomes a mirror, reflecting your enemy's true nature back at them. They wanted a battle of wits. You've given them a war of nerves. And guess who's winning? Number 3, stay calm and conquer. There's nothing more unnerving than someone who remains calm in the face of chaos. The Stoics were masters of this, maintaining a serene composure no matter what life threw at them. Why? Because they knew that losing your temper is the quickest way to lose control. And losing control, that's how you hand victory to your enemy on a silver platter. Picture this. Your enemy is raging, their face red, their voice raised. They're throwing everything they have at you, trying to provoke a reaction. And you're cool as ice. You smile, you nod, you stay completely unfazed. It's infuriating to them. They wanted you to crack, but instead they're the ones falling apart. Because here's the secret. Calm is contagious. When you stay composed, you not only protect yourself from their attacks, but you also unsettle them. They start to question their own strategy, and in that moment of doubt, you've already won. Calmness is your superpower. It's the ultimate flex. It shows that you're in control, not just of the situation, but of yourself. And that's the kind of power that terrifies your enemies, because it's the kind of power they can never take away. Number 4, embrace the long game. Quick wins are tempting, but true dominance requires patience. The Stoics believed in the long game, playing for legacy, not for instant gratification. Your enemy might score a few points early on, but the final victory, that's yours. Because while they're focused on short-term gains, you're building an empire that will outlast them. Here's how it works. Don't rush to retaliate. Don't let your enemy set the pace. Instead, focus on your own growth, your own goals, your own path. Every time they try to derail you, they're only making you stronger, wiser, more resilient. They're burning through their energy while you're conserving yours. It's the ultimate checkmate, because by the time they realize what's happening, it's already too late. The long game isn't just about patience, it's about perspective. You're not here to win a battle, you're here to win the war. And sometimes that means letting your enemy think they're ahead until you pull the rug out from under them and they find themselves at your mercy. Number 5, control the narrative. In the battle for influence, perception is everything. Your enemy might try to smear your reputation, spread lies, or turn others against you. But here's the kicker. You control the narrative, not by shouting louder, but by living better. The Stoics understood that actions speak louder than words. Your character, your integrity, your consistency, these are your strongest defenses. When your enemy tries to drag you down, the people around you will see through their tactics. Because your reputation isn't just built on what you say, but on what you do, day in and day out. But there's more. By controlling the narrative, you also control your enemy's options. If they can't undermine your credibility, if they can't shake your resolve, they have nothing left to attack. They're forced to confront the reality that you're untouchable, and that realization, it's devastating. Remember this, your life is your message. Make it so powerful that no enemy can twist it, tarnish it, or tear it down. Make it so undeniable that the truth speaks for itself. Number 6, own your inner fortress. The Stoics were obsessed with one thing above all, the mind. They believed that the true battlefield isn't out there in the world, but within. And if you can master your own mind, you've already won. Your enemy might try to break you down, but if your inner fortress is unshakable, there's nothing they can do to defeat you. This is where mental resilience comes into play. Every insult, every setback, every challenge, these are just tests of your strength. And with each one, you grow stronger, tougher, more unbreakable. Your enemy might see your calm exterior and think you're an easy target. What they don't realize is that beneath that calm lies an iron will, a mind that's been honed by discipline, and a spirit that can't be crushed. Your inner fortress is your greatest weapon. It's what allows you to endure, to persevere, to outlast any enemy. They can't see it, but they can feel it. And that's what makes you so dangerous. Because no matter what they throw at you, you're always 2 steps ahead, always in control, always ready to turn their attacks into opportunities for growth. Number 7, don't fight, outlast. At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to defeat your enemy, it's to outlast them. The Stoics believed that true victory comes not from force, but from endurance. Anyone can win a battle, but not everyone can survive a war of attrition, and that's what you're here to do. Outlasting your enemy is about playing the long game, but it's also about resilience, determination, and sheer willpower. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you're not going to give up, back down, or lose sight of your goals. Your enemy might throw everything they have at you, but in the end, They'll exhaust themselves. They'll burn out, lose focus, and fall by the wayside. And you'll still be standing. Think about it. While they're busy plotting, scheming, and fighting, you're growing, improving, and evolving. While they're caught up in the moment, you're looking at the bigger picture. And when the dust settles, they'll be left wondering how they ever thought they could beat you. Number 8. Flip the script. Finally, let's talk about one of the most powerful tactics in the Stoic playbook: flipping the script. Your enemy thinks they know you. They think they've got you figured out. But what if you could take everything they believe about you and turn it upside down? That's where the real fun begins. Here's how it works. If your enemy expects you to react with anger, respond with calm. If they expect you to crumble under pressure, stand tall. If they expect you to retreat, move forward. Every time you defy their expectations, you throw them off balance. They're left scrambling, trying to figure out what you'll do next, while you stay 3 steps ahead. Flipping the script isn't just about being unpredictable, it's about taking control of the game. It's about showing your enemy that they're not the ones calling the shots, you are. And once they realize that, their power over you vanishes. They're left playing by your rules, on your terms, in your arena, and that's how you destroy them without ever lifting a finger. So, there you have it. The Stoics knew that true power doesn't come from force or aggression. It comes from control. Control over your mind, your actions, and ultimately, your enemies. By mastering these principles, you'll not only defeat your enemies, you'll transcend them. And when that happens, you'll realize that the greatest victory is the one you never had to fight for.